Talking about figures, well, the latest census is out. Almost 1 in 7 people here in the East Midlands are now born overseas. The new data shows that migration from the European Union has prompted the sharpest rise. But more people were born in India than any other foreign country. Well, our social affairs correspondent, Jeremy Borlity, you've been looking at this all day, I think. How's the picture changing then?
A really detailed picture emerging, Anne, from those census forms that we all had to fill in last year. Now, immigration has had a bigger impact than births and deaths over the last decade. It's pushing this region's population towards the 5 million mark. Now, we can show you here how things are changing. These are figures for the wider government East Midlands region. Go back to 2011 first of all. Then there were 450,000 foreign-born residents. That's now risen by 50% to well over 650,000. Here you can see where they were born. Around 2% of our region's residents come from India. After that, Poland, Romania, the most common countries of birth. Their numbers rose sharply before those new Brexit controls. And the biggest impact, Anne, has been in Leicester. You can see here more than 4 in every 10 residents was born overseas. 16% of the city's population moved here from India. And compare that with Derbyshire, 95% of people there said they were born in the UK. So lots of information. The question is, why does it matter?
You can see the sort of neighbourhood differences. So Leicester has got a very large population of people born in India, for example, but that is spread out differently across the city. So those needs of different communities, they differ across the city.
It is fascinating, Jeremy, but how do they actually use all this stuff?
Well, it's all about planning, first of all. Just think about those hospitals we're talking about today. You need to know how many patients might come in, where they're coming from, if they've got any special needs, but perhaps to do with languages in the case of the information we're getting today. If you're opening a business, for instance, the Census can help you too, because on its website you can find these interactive maps. Now, here's an example from Leicester. Those darker colours, places where more people were born overseas. And there's another one here that shows the countries where people were born. You can click on local figures for Mansfield here. Just think how useful that might be if you were planning a Romanian or a Polish supermarket, for instance.
That's astonishing. And were there any other sort of interesting snippets that you've come across?
Yeah, some interesting stats on marriage today. And one fact that came out, if you're in Nottingham, you're more than twice as likely to be a single parent as you are if you're in Derbyshire Dales. Lots more of this stuff coming out from the census over the next few months. Coming up, information on issues including housing and numbers of military veterans.
I'm sure you're going to be back telling us about those, Jeremy. Thanks very much indeed for that.